I think as Asian, massage, right? Well, Dr. Judy, more of like massage, right? Like that deep tissue.
Massage is different.
I know. So yeah, maybe that's why we don't understand.
Yeah, most people, most Asian people think chiropractic care is a massage. It is not. A massage work with muscles. I was guided to go take this one event by Patrick Chanel. He's the coach that teaches you how to write a book. Because I never know what it entails, how to write this book. So I went to hear him speak, and then I signed up for coaching. And within 3 months, I finished this book.
Wow, 3 months.
Welcome to KhmerTalk Podcast, where Khmer Voices resonates. I'm your host, Srey. With each episode, we will explore stories and ideas that connect our community, celebrate our heritage, and spark new perspective. Whether you're listening or watching this podcast around the globe, this is your space to get inspired. Let's jump in. Today, we're joined by someone whose work is reshaping how people think about wellness and intentional living. Dr. Jeudi Boulom is the author of Enhancing Your Life Now, 4 Basic Principles to Achieving Wellness, a guide that blends her clinical expertise with a deeply personal understanding of what it means to build a healthier, more purposeful life. She has a gift for taking big, sometimes overwhelming ideas about well-being and turning them into simple, actionable steps that anyone can use. Her approach is compassionate, practical, and grounded in real-world experience. I'm excited to dive into her journey, her philosophy, and the powerful principle behind her book. So let's get into it. Dr. Jeudi Boulom. So before we get started, there's a backstory how we met. I met Dr. Jeudi maybe 3 years ago, right? Am I correct, Dr. Jeudi?
Pre-COVID.
Yeah, pre-COVID. Ooh, it's been that long. Oh my goodness, 6 years ago. So pre-COVID, it was my cousin Chenda Ouch, and then
Bangdani.
I thought that because my cousin likes to take, like, hey, we have something going on, and with me when it comes to food, I'll be there. So anyway, I went there, and then there was a talk about doing meditation. It's something that I'm really interested in, because that is something like, I want to learn a little bit more. So I thought that part of the meeting is to talk about doing kind of meditation type of thing. And so that's how I met you. And then I didn't know that you were part of this KhmerTalk podcast, at the beginning that you were involved. And then, this time around when all of us got together and I agreed to be the host, and then Bang Hati said, oh, let's get Dr. Jeudi, who kind of at the beginning wanted to start to talk, for this Khmer podcast to be in it. And I thought I was going to talk to you about doing meditation, like continue on what we started off with. And then Bang Hati said, no. She has a book. I said, what are you talking about? She wrote a book. I didn't know there's a book about her. So anyway, so her book is called Enhancing Your Life Now, 4 Basic Principles to Achieving Wellness. So welcome, Dr. Jeudi, to our show.
Thank you, Srey, for having me.
Yeah, can you go into a little bit about the book and the 4 principles behind this?
Yes, definitely. Thank you for making this podcast possible. I know Chenda and Bang Hati is a big player behind the scene. Yes, this book came about in 2008, we had that housing bubble. And during that time, I was feeling burnt out from my practice. But I also see a trend that was happening, which is more and more people are filing for bankruptcy because of their medical expenses. And so I took a couple of years off from practicing chiropractic and was guided basically to write this book. I didn't know that I was supposed to be writing a book. So I was guided to go take this one event by Patrick Chanel. He's the coach that teaches you how to write a book. Because I never know what it entails, how to write this book. So I went to hear him speak, and then I signed up for coaching. And within 3 months, I finished this book.
Wow, 3 months.
Yeah, this book was written based on what I saw that was happening with my patients. And I've seen, different type of patients. And from the practice that I've practiced before, the type of patients, to the current practice that I'm in right now. And so I see that more and more of the four principle applies in today's reality, especially post-COVID, is that the first pillar is toxicity. We are so bombarded with toxins all around us, from the air that we breathe, to the water that we drink, to the food that we eat, to the clothes that we wear, the personal product that we use in our environment, right? We're bombarded by toxin. Our body has 4 mechanisms that it will remove toxin naturally without us knowing. And that 4th mechanism is, number 1 is breathing.
You're breathing now,
And
right?
yeah, and breathing, most of us said, oh, that's so natural. How could you not, how could people have problems with breathing? But 99% of the people have problem with breathing. Because if you take a moment and listen and watch yourself, how do you breathe? Most of us probably, when we're under stress, we don't breathe. Or we're shallow breather.
Like what I'm doing right now, right?
Like what you're doing, right? Shallow breather is kind of like a comparison of going to a gas station, pumping gas instead of a full tank. You only pump a quarter of a tank every time, right? So you would have to go to the gas station so often.
So often, yeah.
So the reason is when you breathe.
So what is the proper breathing then, Dr. Jeudi?
Through your belly. So
okay.
Inhale 4 seconds. So belly out. Hold for 4. And then breathe out. 8 seconds. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Belly out.
So I'm teaching
hold for 4 seconds.
If you're listening, you just please, listen to Dr. Judy's voice and kind of guide you. And then if you're watching this, you can just see what I'm trying to do, showing my
belly out. So when you inhale, you actually inhale in, right? Belly out like a baby. The best thing is watch a baby breathe. And then you hold for 4 seconds and then you let go for 8 seconds. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the reason why you hold your breath is
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Do you close your eyes when you're doing this, or
if it's easier for you to focus your mind to breathe, then close your eyes. If you can do it open, you can just do it open.
Okay. So there's no wrong or right way of doing this exercise. Okay. Because I was closing my eyes.
Because we draw our attention to ourselves when we close our eyes. So just by doing that, you will shift. When you hold, you're shifting the brainwave, right? You're switching off from the busy mind to the calm mind. So you go from a beta wave to an alpha wave. So alpha wave is like a very meditative state. And so a beta wave is like we call in medical term sympathetic. You always go. To a parasympathetic, but you rest and digest, allowing your body to just calm. So 1 is breathing, and that's 70%, 70 of toxin is removed out of your body.
Okay.
We don't breathe properly.
Listener and viewer, you hear this? 70% is just
breathing
alone. Yeah. That is so really powerful. You think it's such, you have to do all this.
Simple, right?
Yes.
So if you're not breathing properly, where does that toxin go? Stays within the body, right? The second mechanism that the body set in stage is sweating. So that's why people love to exercise. They sweat. And when you sweat, you release 20% of the toxin.
So how about menopause?
You don't sweat?
Hot flashes, right? So I mean, is that an exercise?
It doesn't cost your cell to move as much as.
Right? If you're talking about sweating, if a viewer like myself who is, going through menopause right now, I said, hey, maybe I'm exercising because
motion.
Motion. Okay, motion. Okay.
Yeah. So
sorry.
No, that's good. And then the third is urination. A lot of people don't like, especially at work, when they have to work, either work restriction, limiting their restroom breaks or whatever, they don't like to drink water because it makes them go to the bathroom. But 7% of that toxin is released through urination. But also we choose to drink everything else but water. Water is like the number 1 nutrient that cleanses our blood, but we don't. So that's 7%. And then the last mechanism is bowel movements. How many people is backed up? Some are backed up for like days or weeks, right? I have a friend who's a nurse, and he said some people, they have to like go in and, right? So imagine all that toxin stays within the body. Then you compound it by the choices that you make every day, the drinks, the food, medication, the air, the water. So how do you expect this engine to run when it's overloaded with toxin? It's like if you run a car 24 hours a day, if you have a Lamborghini, would you do that? No. Why? Because they think you're crazy if you do that, right? It's an expensive car. Why would you do that? But what about this car? What about this engine that runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 360 days in a year? How many years have you been alive? How many more years do we plan to live? Why aren't we taking care of this engine? Why are we running it? Right?
Yes.
So these are the just basic, simple steps that we could do, right? That's why toxin is the number one pillar.
Yeah. And that toxin, when I was reading the book, Dr. Jeudi, include your emotional stuff, right? That's, I didn't realize that, Dr. Jeudi. When I read that book, I read it in the book, I said, that is toxin too? I didn't realize that, being depressed and, having a bad day, this, that is part of toxin in my body. But it makes sense. It is, because it's there in your body.
It's the number one impact. It's actually 70% emotional toxicity that impact our health. There's a great book called Feelings Buried Alive Never Dies by Keo Chhim. And she followed people over 10-year time frame and how people buried their emotions and it manifested into physical reality.
Yeah.
And I have a patient who had that. And every patient that comes in with emotion, I always tell them, read this book. You will become a fortune teller.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so one patient that came in that had stiffness in the neck and left shoulder all the time. And I was like, by the third visit, I'm like, okay, this keeps showing up. Do you have worry? And he goes, yes, I was worried about my mom. And just by bringing that emotion up to the surface, it helps the energy to flow. My other patient who had acute frozen shoulder, she came in, she couldn't even raise it. This is as far as she could raise. And then after chiropractic assessment and treatment, I taught her some self-care. She went home, practiced it following day, so she missed a day. So by 2 days later, she comes in, she goes like this.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And frozen shoulder it's
painful.
It's so painful.
Yeah.
Dr. Jeudi, when I had it, I think probably that emotional step too, because, I drove to South Dakota. I did it on my own for 18 hours.
Wow.
I drove that thing. You know how you tense up? And that came back. It was so painful. Literally, I have to use this hand, lift it up. But I didn't see chiropractic care. I think that next time I would do it, But it took me a couple,
You were doing self-care.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, I took, whatever, whatever I need to do to, but it took a minute for it to heal.
Yeah.
Not heal. I mean, it can come back.
Resolve.
Right? To resolve. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I noticed the second time it came back is when I was like really stressed out about something. Well, yeah. So
a good rule of thumb is that when you notice like an acute pain that comes on right away and you didn't fall or injured yourself, most of the time it's emotion.
Something, okay, listener, pay attention to your body, It does talk to us. It just, we don't really pay it, whatever, just.
Yeah, especially when you go to a doctor and the doctor can't find anything, like a big run of blood work and all that stuff. Yeah. So then that's the first pillar, right? Then the second pillar is nutrition. It's important, like coming back to the toxicity, our kitchen is like the number one place where we want to make sure that we look through, because toxicity is lurking in there, from our cleaning product to the cooking, right, ingredients.
Yeah.
And so nutrition helps our body. It's kind of like building a house. What kind of raw material are you providing the body? Those raw materials are the vitamins and minerals and fats that our body needs to build a healthy cells, because cells rebuild and it breaks down the old one and rebuild new one. So if you want to be healthy, you're investing today for a healthier body tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
So nutrition is very important. What we choose to eat, what we choose to drink. And the third one would be exercise. Our body is designed to be in motion. When we move, we actually flowing and removing toxins, like breathing, sweating, right? So it's moving the toxin out of our body, out of our system, so that way it can then be able to handle more of that stress to our day-to-day life. Yeah. And then the fourth is chiropractic care. Your spine, because it protects the brain and the nervous system, which is the spinal cord that comes down the spine. And if you think of the spinal cord as the freeway, when I-5 have accidents, there's traffic jam and cars goes all over, creating a mess. The same thing if the flow from the brain down through your spinal cord, if there's like a blockages, you'll have either overstimulation or understimulation to the tissue, to the cells. So getting regular chiropractic care help the flow of the nervous system. And the body communicate through hormones. And the nervous system, the nerves, right? Through the hormones, synapses through the nervous system.
Yeah. So getting a regular chiropractic care is really important. You know, in your book, you were talking about it's like getting a regular oil change. You know, the maintenance. You think that the oil and stuff is still it's running. It appeared to be running, but I think the maintenance before it
breaks down.
Yes. That's what is so great about, you know, the book Enhancing Your Life Now is your simple breakdown of, you know, what you just said. If we couldn't imagine ourselves doing that, just say, hey, be mindful. Breathing is going to help us. And vision like that is the main power board, right? And then when you do it right, everything's going to run smoothly.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And, when I was reading this, you were kind of the reason, your frustration. You talk about your son, you know, were in and out of the hospital because the doctor couldn't really diagnose him. And you use nutrition to help along with your profession to help him. I'm assuming, is he healing?
With my son's situation is called idiopathic. I mean, nobody knows what's going on with him. So what we have learned is environment, nutrition makes a big difference. So when he eats a certain food, it will trigger, or a certain environment, it will trigger. So what we want to do is minimize things that would trigger, right?
Yeah.
When I went through school, they didn't teach us how to treat it. They just teach us the condition and the disease, how to diagnose it. But the treatment isn't there. So you basically, through clinical experiences, you learn what really helped patients, right? And so same thing with any patients is that the medical doctors are trained to diagnose, but when it comes to the treatment, there's a limitation. There's factors, which is my next book that's coming out.
It's are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually the 5 pillars. It's not 4 anymore. It's 5. This book, when it first started, it's just basic understanding of the physical aspect of health. But my next book, it will be about really incorporating not just the physical aspect, but like you got to factor in like the energetic aspect of, which is going into quantum physics. So there's our layers to healing, and there's no one correct approach. It's actually like a pieces of a puzzle. You find the pieces that will fit so that can make you whole. So not one modality will help you. There's multiple modalities, but you have to be able to learn. What I'm now launching is teaching people to learn how to tap into the power that they hold. Each one of us has a power, but we have learned or taught to look outside of ourselves instead of diving deep into the true power that God has given us, right? The inner power. Yeah, that would be my next book.
Amazing. So, you know, this is the truth that I'm sharing from me reading this book, right? When I was reading it, you talk about all this nutritional stuff, right? I was joking with Chenda. I said, oh my goodness, after reading this book, I crave for junk food. I don't know. Is that normal? It's so funny. It's just like in my brain, it's just like, oh my goodness, this is too healthy for me, because I think it really like triggered my subconscious mind to say, hey, you need to be mindful what you put in your, what you're feeding yourself. So I think subconsciously, maybe I was like not eating healthy stuff and then it just triggered it, right? And joking on the side, Dr. Jeudi, for that week, I was like eating chips. And,
oh
my goodness. So I was not following your book, but joking on the side, but what you just said, you know, our mind, it can make us or break us, right?
Oh, definitely.
And I don't know what triggered it. I like I said, but anyways, you know what? And your book, you really went into detail how being a Khmer refugee can reflect how you wrote this book too, right? The way we live. And And then you share the cooking tips. This book too, you know, from making spring roll to making the broth. And I don't like to cook, so I'm being honest. I mean, I'm being honest about it. But that, you know, what you have in here is really simple steps for us to, from the broth to make into different meals, or especially the spring roll, right? What you can add from, you know, making the broth from the chicken to making. So I would try that. Because
well, that book was intended for most of my patients that are Caucasian. They're not Asian, right?
Oh no,
It's kind of like patients who want to try Asian food but don't know how. So I gave them the basic, because I like to cook with simple ingredient. Yeah, and we have learned that once you start eating healthy, when you go out and you eat, you become more mindful of the choices that you.
I do strong believer of that too. Because right now I'm like, because I'm reading your book, you talk about those toxin, the plastic and stuff like that, right? And so my OCD kicks in. It's just like anything in plastic, my mind is like, oh my goodness, it's going to be leaching into my food and this and that. So, you know, the minute I from it to go from the store or from my mom's house or something, I literally have
Bring your own pot.
No. Well, Dr. Jeudi, what happened is not in my own pot, but I would literally get home and transfer that to
Immediately.
Yeah, immediately, but not because I've been so busy. I have not been doing that, but I transfer it to a glass. Like I said, so reading this, it bring me a little bit more awareness that what I put into my body, it's you know, it can be toxin. You don't know what it is, even from makeup and stuff like that, right? And which I love makeup.
And more companies. That's the when we become more conscious of what we put into our body, then we can look for products and support products that are more of a natural, right? And like if you go to the supermarket, they knew if you look at the aisle, instantly you'll see junk food right along the aisle because that's what we crave for, right? And it's like, oh, but if you learn to like become disciplined, then the choices that you are putting into your body, you become more selective, and you're more consciously aware of your environment also. When you make those choices, you become more consciously aware. That's the key, is awareness. Because society want us to just follow, right? It's the norm to just follow. Oh yeah, this is good for you. But when you become consciously aware, you become empowered because you knows what your body wants. And the body communicate with us all the time. I always tell my patients, you know who's the best doctor? You are. The reason being is that you would know when your body's allergic to something. You would know when your body is off before you come to see me. And I'm just kind of, through my training, kind of do the differential diagnosis and they kind of narrow down to the, oh, I see, this is what's going on with you, and help you understand, that's the problem. But if you learn to tune into your body, you'll probably recognize it way before I would even know, right?
Yeah.
So basically, the best doctor is the person, right? But we were taught not to listen to our body. We were taught to be looking outside, right? Give authority to other people than ourselves. But I'm not saying like, you could self-diagnose yourself.
No.
I'm just saying that learn to become more consciously aware and tune into your body. That's, most patients that come into my office now are like, they're so in tune with their body. They know when their body is out of alignment. That's when they call me and say, hey, can I come in and get a treatment? Right? Kind of basically go to our chiropractic care. So important because the human body is designed in a very unique way that science only getting to kind of understand what the human body has this ability to do. There's so many hidden secret points within the body. I mean, Linda, as an acupuncturist, knows about the human body hidden points. And so the Chinese, they do the meridian acupuncture. They study this energy. But as a chiropractor, we believe that the nervous system, which control all function of your body, from your thoughts to your movement right? Through your breathing, through everything, through your digestion. It's all involved the nerve. Okay. If that nerve is basically a communication pathway, and when that communication pathway is blocked, I always say, think of it as I-5. When I-5 has traffic, what happened to the traffic? It's jammed, it's chaotic. It's like, right? Same thing with the flow from the control system, the brain, down to the spine. That flow has to flow smoothly. I-5 has to flow. If it's not flowing, there's congestion. So what happened? There's either overstimulation or understimulation to that particular part of the body. When you get diagnosis of hyper or hypo, meaning too much or too little, because the body communicates in hormones. Right? So chiropractic care helps align the spine because the nervous system and the spinal cord runs down that. So when you get chiropractic care, you basically help remove the blockages, which is the accident along I-5, right? So your spine is very important because the nervous system has to flow. And when the nervous system is flowing, then the body auto corrects itself.
So it's really important to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, another analogy that you use is getting a regular oil change, knowing, even though you think that your car is running smoothly and this and that, but you need a maintenance. So, I mean, it's similar to the chiropractor practice is with that. And can you tell us a little bit more what is hypo? I think, Dr. Jeudi, hypothyroid.
Slow.
It's slow. And then hyper is high. So for the viewer, kind of, maybe
either too much stimulation or too little. Too much production of one or too little production.
Oh, okay. So how often do you think for us to go in to get chiropractic care?
Chiropractic care is, like I said, it's like a mechanic. You take your car into a mechanic when you don't want to wait until it's broken down because it requires a lot of work, right?
Yeah.
You need this engine change or you need that. Right? But if you maintain it on a regular basis every 3 months, every 6 months, if you're healthy, every 3 months. But if you're not maintaining it, then you need to go regularly until you're able to know when your body's out of alignment. My goal for patient is that I want you to become so consciously aware of your body that you can recognize when your body is out of alignment. It's time to go get it tuned up. And that's where most of my patients are right now. They have gotten to the point where they know when their body's out of alignment. They just call me. So I have patients who are new and they have not been trained to tune into their body. They will need initially regular treatment until their body is back into alignment. And then they're able to recognize, oh, it's time for me to go get a tune-up. Yeah.
So most clients that you're seeing right now is when they are a tune-up or more of there's a car crash, an accident that has happened. I'm sorry. Is that a good analogy? I don't know.
New patients, new patients.
It's like they all messed up and said, hey, Dr. Jeudi, please fix me. When you're talking about it, and I said, oh, I need to go see you. I need to be fixed, because I never been to a chiropractor before.
Asian people are not very familiar with chiropractic. Yeah. And once they start, they were like, okay, I'm missing out.
Yeah, it sounds like it,
But American, because it started here in America, those who had chiropractic care, it's been generational. Every family member, either their mom and dad introduced them or their grandparents introduced them. So it has been generational. But for Asian, they are beginning to discover the power of chiropractic. Yeah. But if you're not in tune with your body, it's good to find a chiropractor that really can help empower you and educate you about your body and how to tune into your body and why it's important.
So Dr. Jeudi, just in case our listener, watching or listening, we're going to have information about how to connect with you to get chiropractic care. So we'll have that information for our listener. Just listening to you really inspired me to maybe, to connect with you and get that going. Because I think us Asian, massage, right? Well, Dr. Jeudi, more of massage, right? Like that deep tissue.
Massage is different.
I know. So, maybe that's why we don't understand,
most people, most Asian people think chiropractic care is a massage. It is not. A massage works with muscles. Chiropractic works with your spine and your nervous system.
There you go. So you have educated me today because I kind of thought it was similar because you just, like you're doing something to my back or whatever it is. Because when massage happened, it's the same, right? The same thing that they're doing. So thank you for explaining that to me. At least you're educating me today. I didn't know that. And I love the way you also explain, like it's a piece of art, right? Your hand is like art. That is amazing. The power of this, right?
Well, chiropractic is founded on the art, science, and philosophy.
Yeah.
Art is because it's crafted with our hand, right? And our hand has energy. Each of our hand has a healing power. So that science, if you look at it, they're able to detect the amount of energy coming out of our hand. So yeah, if you ever had anybody who was sick, try to place your hand on that and just focus on it. And that person will say, oh my God, I feel so much better.
Okay. So some more of like energy when you go. I mean, of course, when you go do, a person who's receiving a session with you, right? A visit with you. I mean, will have their x-rays and all this and that, but you are able to kind of.
So when you come to see me, I'm not just doing chiropractic alone. I'm incorporating energetic, right? And I'll educate you on nutrition. So I'm more of a holistic approach.
That's what we love about it.
To care. So
yes.
I will know like where your energy is blocked, which means it goes into emotion, it goes into nutrition, it goes into the energy, it goes into the structural.
Yeah.
So it's not just, oh yeah, you come in and you get your back crack and then what a lot of people think that's it. No, what's going on with you? Right? Because I'll get patient who comes in who have stiff neck or shoulder pain. But that's not the root cause of their problem, right? I have to understand what is going on with that patient. So I have a patient, for instance, he came in, always have stiffness in the left side. So then when I'm like treating him, I felt like, okay, there's a lot of worry going on. So I said, okay, are you worried about something? And the patient says, yeah, his mom is diagnosed with cancer. And so just by bringing that emotion up, it actually helps flows the energy. Because there's a book called Feelings Buried Alive Never Dies by Keo Chhim. And what that book said, she basically followed people over 10 years of their condition. And the majority of the time is emotion that gets buried. Like we don't address it. So we just kind of put it aside and we forget about it. But then that emotion manifests into a physical pain, right? And another example is a patient who has acute frozen shoulder.
I have that.
Yeah. So I go, okay, through my assessment, because I saw this patient, it's like, what's going on with your life? And she was having some issue, personal issue, relationship-wise. So I taught her some self-care protocol along with chiropractic care. And then the next visit, she's able to have full resolution.
That's amazing. Yeah. Without any, holistic way of approaching healing yourself, right? In a way, right? She was able to have that, without medication. You were able to help her that way. That's amazing.
Yeah. So Lyndon and I have this protocol where we teach people how to. Basically, there's tools that you can basically self-help tools.
Okay, so there's tools that we use, right? Okay.
Yeah, there's actually a personal tool that you can learn to help yourself and be empowered. Because that's what I say is that we have been so conditioned to look outside of ourselves. And as we're moving forward, you'll see post-COVID and during COVID, this is how when Bongdani, this is how this Khmer podcast came about, was to really help Khmer people to be more empowered and to realize that the power that they hold. And I'm seeing it right now through the Cambodian situation that's going on right now. I'm just so touched by the amount of love that we have for each other.
We do.
And the amount of unity. I mean, we've gone through so much. Yeah. Even in my book, right, I talk about the killing field. And Cambodian people don't need to go through that anymore. And I think the power as we move into the new era, it's all about community. It's all about love. It's all about compassion and kindness. And if we can hold that vibration, what the world is teaching us, fear, selfishness, all of this, it doesn't serve anyone, right? But when we vibrate, we choose to vibrate at a higher frequency, which is the frequency of love, the frequency of compassion, kindness, unity, we will overcome all of the challenges.
True, Dr. Jeudi. I think that's why you're here with me. I'm a strong believer of that. We have to, love one another. I always feel like I'm always blessed because I think, kindness goes a long way.
Definitely.
That smile goes a long way. Making people welcome and stuff like that. That little small gesture, I think is unity to me. And it's it's a blessing, right? And I think my reality, we love each other. We just don't know how to interact with, there's a certain culture, there's a certain things that we have to follow, right? We don't talk a lot about ourselves to one another. In a way, if there's issues and stuff like that, no, it's a shame. Why should I talk to someone else about my problem? It's a stigma, anything that is related to relationship and stuff like that, if something happened with marriage or whatever, because we're being looked upon as like, it's you're not a good role model for the Khmer, right? I think what I sense right now, Dr. Jeudi, I think we're breaking a little bit of that cycle. And, think of, like I said, I keep saying this like once again, for you to willing to come is the love that we have for one another. And you see that this potentially gonna help more than we think. It's gonna resonate to a lot of more people that is out there who is watching this podcast. I mean, listening or watching, who can help them. That we all just want to belong, right? And to be heard. And like I said, your book, I'm hearing it from what you're trying to tell, not just us, like the American who read this, but for all culture. And when I read this, because I was a Khmer, refugee, I came here as a refugee too when I was 9 going on 10, but I don't remember as detailed as you. But I always remember that wherever I go, I'm blessed. So when you speak of energy, that's what I resonate with. I think the vibration, right? That we have that connection with one another. And I think you have that belief in me too. That's why you're willing to show up here to talk about this book. And, I don't know how many podcasts or been in shows to talk about your book. So
I honestly don't really promote my book. The purpose of this book is really for patients who are searching for ways to help themselves.
Yeah.
And those who got a hold of this book, it's a way to use it as a reference point, like a beginning point if you don't know where to start on your journey to achieving optimal health, right? It's a guide.
To me, I think you should be, promoting it in a way because it's so simple. The breakdown of it is just, I can say that, it's simple, but yet, if a person who it all comes down is how we look at it, how you look at things. And I thank you for educating us. Like I said, this Khmer talk is not just for the Khmer viewer, right? It's for everybody. And then hopefully, the session that we have together that, it resonate with them. That little takeaway is like it's so important what we put in our our body, and be mindful of what is out there. And for me, what I learned is that
breathing.
Yeah, that breathing. It really kind of calms me down when we did that little bit of that exercise. Imagine that little moment. I'm just like, I'm not as like running my mouth faster than what I need to. So as far as personal growth and showing up for a relationship, it's about the holistic healing part of it, right? How we show up, right? If we're sick and we don't know how to take care of ourselves, we're going to be showing up in differently, right? How we respond to one another. So my understanding is that you have to really take care of yourself.
Well, yeah, because when you take good care of yourself, you're more consciously aware of your environment, of the people around you, and your decision making is more crystal clear. Also, your perspective in life is not as chaotic. So the goal is basically what it boils down to is your energetic field.
I can't wait to I can't wait to read your
Next book.
next book because maybe I find a little bit healing here already, right? Because and then maybe the next book I'm going to be more have a little bit more understanding about that energetic field because like you said, if we vibrate in a certain frequency, we can heal one another. I mean, we're gonna help.
Yeah, starting 2026, I'm launching a 21-day program. And also, it really entails what's inside my next book.
Okay.
But a 21 days program is basically taking people from where they are to the next level of where they want to be.
Okay.
And it takes 21 days because it basically takes down this 4 principle here, incorporating with my new book as well.
Okay. So how do the viewer join your
they can contact me again.
Okay.
And then I take them through a 21-day program every day, incorporating the 5 pillars within my new book.
Okay.
To really take and transform their life.
Okay.
It's a journey to transforming your life.
Starting January of next.
Yeah.
My goodness, that's a
couple months.
Oh my goodness.
A week.
A week? I mean,
I'm gonna be launching that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I mean, hopefully we get to the listener be able to connect with you. So is this like a yearly thing that you're doing?
It's gonna be. I'm only taking in 10 clients a month.
Oh, okay.
Because it's really intense in the sense that it's a devoted one-on-one type of journey for your journey to be where you want to be. So it's more of like a coaching program.
Okay. So if our listener wants, so it's a monthly session and you're only taking
10 clients.
So you screen them. Okay. Okay. So we'll help that information for our viewer and this will lead on to change, right? At the end of this book, you talk about change. I like the way you were talking about your brother who was struggling in school, where the environment, he was raised at. And then when he shifted and he moved to a different place, he's flourished.
Yeah.
So I think we can apply that to everyday thing that we do, right? If you want to make change, you have to have the willingness to do something to make that change.
You make the commitment of what is it that you want in life, and sometimes our environment impact us because of the influences of the circle of people that we're around.
Yes.
Right. So if you want a different outlook or different life, if your energy frequency is not high enough, you're not able to make the change of the environment. So it's better to move and create a new environment for yourself in order for you to thrive.
Yes.
Right? If the environment is toxic, think of it as a fish in a aquarium. If that water is polluted, doesn't matter how healthy that fish is, it eventually going to get sick and die.
Yeah.
So basically, we come back to the toxicity and the pollution, right? So if you want to change, you got to change the environment. The atmosphere.
Yes. Some people are capable and some are not capable, right? And hopefully, I think if you have a mindset of a change that they can...
Well, you can start by choosing to listen to certain music that will help uplift your spirit. You can choose to be around friends that will uplift you. You can choose to eat certain food that will nourish you, right? These are change, small change.
Yes.
But it eventually will lead to a bigger change. But you got to start somewhere. Start small. Don't go and do it all at once. Start small. Choices of food that you want to eat, because that's an investment for your future. It is the best investment by eating healthy. Then go for a walk. Walking is the best exercise, right? It clears your mind. It gives you the connection with nature, right? Go to the park, go to the river, go where you find peace. It doesn't have to be with people. You can be by yourself. It's okay. Then make sure you get regular chiropractic care.
No, yeah.
I mean, it's really helped the flow of the energy, the flow of the nervous system to be calibrated back to balance. So then you can be strong enough to now have a clear mental focus. You're strong. You're able to then move to your bigger goal. So start small.
You know, Dr. Jeudi, I thought I was trying to start small, right? I think my habit is, walking, right? I even bought this, you can walk, put it underneath what is it? Walking pad, right? I was doing that every single day, for a while. And the minute that I did not get on, I stopped I have not been walking on that walking pad for the last couple of weeks. And I thought I was doing well, thinking that, okay, I'm going to make that small shift, with reading this, right? Let's go slowly, right? Only sometime I get on, 10 or 15 minutes. Why is my habit? I cannot stick to getting back onto doing this, like walking inside. If I'm not able to go outside, at least I have something to do the inside, but I'm not doing it. I don't know what is wrong with my mindset. Maybe I need to be Dr. Jeudi, I thought I was disciplined. You know what I'm missing? I think I'm missing the chiropractor. No, I'm being honest. No, Dr. Jeudi. I'm being honest because I think that was the missing piece. If you think about it. No, I'm thinking about listening to you and try to kind of think about my process because I never had received chiropractic care in the past, right? And trust me, I listen to a lot of listening to music, whatever for self-improvement, right? But I always fall back to the same old pattern. And I thought, oh my God, I thought I educate myself doing all this and all that. But from hearing from you, I think I'm gonna give a chiropractor a try, and to see how it will shift my habit or the way I do things. Because it's not like I don't try. I do try. And often people said, you don't try it hard enough. But I thought I did in my definition. I did that. Religiously, I did that for like over a month. You said certain 21 days to break a habit, right? I said, 30 days, surpass the 30 days. But the minute I stopped, everything stopped. Can you explain that? Why is that, Dr. Jeudi?
Well, there's like I said, it's not one factor. The physical factor is one, but there's also the energetic factor within your field, what we quantum physics call information. If the information within your field is not changed, well, then you're going to resort to that habit until you change that information within your quantum field. So that's why I said there's layers of healing. Old habits could stem from histories of ancestral. So it just depends on what is going on in your life. If you're doing everything that you could possibly do on your own and you're still not able to shift it, then that might be an energetic field within your quantum field, which is the information that needs to be changed.
So I can't wait to read the next book. Oh my goodness, so I need to change my quantum field in a way. Who knows, maybe my past,
Yeah, and you can learn, again, you can learn how to do that, right? So these are self-help tools that you could learn to do. But it takes practice to really want to change. Like the first thing is to say, I want to make a difference in my life. I want to change. That takes a lot. And then the willingness to follow through.
Yes, I thought I did, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen for me. So maybe this is because I have some digital to fall back to, like said, okay, Srey, you didn't follow through. Go ahead and watch that episode. It said in that episode, but I will do, like I said, I'm going to try even harder, and like I said, it's baby step, right?
Yeah, baby step.
Yeah, baby steps. Everything we do, it's like doing this podcast. I always give an analogy to myself because when you have, compassion or passion at doing things, right? It doesn't matter what you do. That energy is keep you going, right? So I always tell friends and families that I do not enjoy cooking. That's the truth. People that knows me knows that I cannot cook to save my life, right? And the reason why I know that was the reason is because my heart is not in it.
That's the key.
That's the key. So I learned that from just kind of being mindful of it. I said, why? It's not I don't cook, Dr. Jeudi, Linda. I do cook, okay? It's not really simple stuff. And I burn stuff, but I try. It's not for lack. That's what I meant to say. It's not for me of lack of trying. I'm trying, right? But what I learned is because my heart is not there.
Passion.
Yes. It's just like, sorry.
You're good at this.
But I'm good at this. So Dr. Jeudi, I think I found this as my passion because I can run my mouth a lot. I mean, I can keep you going and going, and you guys would be like, oh, be quiet, Srey. But so that's what I mean, because my heart is in this. My heart is like, bring everybody together and educate one another. It's just like, when I talk with you about why this, I never thought that I would be doing, being the person who is hosting, right? I thought you guys be the one, but I said yes, and here I am, right?
And you do that.
Oh, thank you. So I think this is my calling because I felt it in here. You don't know that I didn't realize doing this take a lot of work. Oh my goodness, all the prep work and all this. And thank you to, Michael, the IT, the editor, the producer and everything, right? The right, person for this, that we put a lot of energy into it. And people they think that, oh, look at them, just a show, right? So I do want to say that maybe this is my little calling that I have passion for, and my dream is to get all of us together, regardless Khmer or whatever, but if we do this today, if we reach somebody who is feeling some type of way, like what, I'm probably look at her. She's sharing her story that she is, she's not committed to it, and she is festering up doing a talk show, right? But anyway, so honestly, I thank you. I keep repeating this, but I really honestly thank you. And you know what? You kind of inspired me too, in a way, because when we had that first meeting, I thought, oh my goodness, can I do this? But you gave me this energy, said, Srey, you can do it. And then you know what? When you say that, I just want to share with you, something sparked, something in me just energized. And I thought to myself, I know my role and I will do my best to make this happen for all of us. So this is all about community. So hopefully what I'm doing is going to reach somebody, and it will. But now it's going to be even bigger. That Khmer, we love each other. And we do. Look at you. You're willing to drive. How long did it take you for you to get here, Dr. Jeudi?
It's worth it.
Oh, okay. See, Dr. Jeudi is not willing to share, but it took her a long time. So on that note, so Dr. Jeudi, do you have something to say to our viewer who are listening to this podcast that you want to share?
Well, I just say congratulations on starting this, and you're doing an amazing job. And everything is, I believe, if you believe in divine timing, everything is meant to be. Bang Chenda and Bang Hari is like the spearheaded.
Yes.
But it requires the right personality. And I think that you're amazing.
Oh, thank you.
So to those who are listening out there, what Srey was saying is follow your passion. Find something that you really love, because it'll resonate. When you do something that you love, it becomes a hobby. It's not a work. There's a difference between work and a hobby. Somebody who finds something that they love to do, it resonates. It just energizes them, like Srey said. And you can see it in her. She loves it. She's perfect. And that's the same thing with me as a chiropractor.
Yeah.
I don't see myself as a chiropractor. I see myself as someone who can empower my patient to be the best that they can be, to be as healthy as they can be. So find something that you love and go for it. It doesn't matter what people think or say, because people will always have something to say or think about you. But really, be okay with who you are and find something that matters to you. And start small, not to start big. Invest in yourself, invest in your health, invest in your mind, mentality. Be surrounded by people who loves you, care about you, and want the best for you. Because that's how you grow. And when you grow, like Srey, you are now amplifying that love.
Oh.
And it comes from you, and then it ripple out to a bigger circle. So to your household. Then it goes into your community. Then it goes into the whole town, right? Because when you feel good about yourself, about what you do, you amplify that energy, and people wants to be around that, right?
Yeah.
So it's a ripple effect. That's what it is. So I hope that the listener got something from this podcast, and that I wish them a very healthy, successful 2026. And I'm so honored to be here.
Oh,
And thank you for having me.
Thank you, Dr. Jeudi. Yeah, like thank you for your profound ending to this. That hopefully our listener, will listen and come together and be a part of community and part of this KhmerTalk, and to help us even grow, live it even more. So thank you for joining us, and thank you, Dr. Jeudi, for bringing this work in the world. Until next time, take what you heard today and let it settle into your life in whatever way feels right. And remember, enhancing your life doesn't start someday. It starts now. So I love for you to take a moment to like the episode, subscribe to this show. Please like, subscribe, share, and hit the bell icon for our next episode. Thank you. Thank you.
Can we start? I'm sorry, because I kind of messed up at the beginning. Can we start from the beginning for about maybe 15 minutes?
From the beginning?
From the beginning, the very beginning.
Oh. You didn't record it?
No, it's recorded, but I messed up with the video because it kind of auto-adjusted, focusing this way, focusing that way.
Oh.
So how do we go from...
So just start from the beginning.
Like the intro?
The intro. So Michael. So, okay. Oh.
No, I got everything else.
You got everything else?
I got everything else, but the camera was going this way.
So are you able to like dub us and like we're sitting here and talk, and then?
I mean, if you're talking, might as well just record it.
Okay.
Just the first 15 minutes.
What did we talk about the first 15 minutes?
Oh my goodness. Oh.
We might be just...